And this is what I find frustrating. I'm hoping it doesn't work over the long term. I'm hoping President Trump is reelected. Eventually the truth comes out and justice is served. All we have is hope. I mean, it may sound hyperbolic or dramatic, but I love the country and I'm just not willing to give up. But what they did in conjunction with the media, who has entirely abdicated their role, if it was not for organizations like Judicial Watch, where you are now, judicialwatch.org, folks, if you want to check them out, we would never have had the truth here, because the media has shown a complete lack of, and not only a lack of, I'm being nice, a willingness to be, Tom, and if you correct me if you don't agree, to be part of the scandal, to actively advocate on behalf of the debunked conspiracy theories with no evidence, and then in turn refuting some of their own reporting. I'll just give you two quick examples. Politico, I know you know the story, it's like beating a dead horse, but some in the audience may not. Politico's Ken Vogel already reported about over a year ago about the Ukrainian efforts to interfere in the 2016 election. Anybody can go and look at that article now, and yet the media acts like it doesn't exist and it's never been rescinded. And secondly, with regards to Spygate, it's interesting. If you go back and look at CNN, Jim Sciutto and Pamela Brown already wrote articles about the Obama administration's efforts to basically work with the United Kingdom and others to gather information about the Trump team. Yeah, I mean, these are two textbook examples by liberal-leaning outlets of foreign collusion, and yet the media, Tom, acts like none of this exists anymore and just moves along and wipes their hands of it. It's amazing.
Well, in many ways, they are co-conspirators. I talked about the Associated Press was actually activist in terms of trying to get Manafort and obviously Trump prosecuted and Trump embarrassed. To the degree they knowingly publish classified information, illegally leaked to them, they're co-conspirators. There is no exemption in the law, as best I can tell, for media publishing classified information. It's illegal for that to happen too. And so they're witnesses to these crimes. In the least, they're witnesses. And I really think the media these days, to a degree, I mean, we should just understand they're liberal advocacy groups that sometimes do journalism. And when it comes to reporting on the swamp, Judicial Watch does as much significant journalism as the New York Times and the Washington Post. In many ways, it's more honest. And certainly, we don't rely on illegal leaks to get the information.
And Tom, one of the things I think the general public doesn't know about your group, Judicial Watch, is it's not a partisan group. You guys have been going after government malfeasance in administrations that are Republican and Democrat for a long. People don't understand that. And when I first met you, I kind of did some homework on what you guys have been. You guys have been involved in government malfeasance for a long time. So this isn't about. I know everybody associates that you guys with partisanship now, only because it's the Trump era and they want to attack you. But your group really is a government accountability group. It always has been. I'm not wrong in my assessment, right? I mean, the people can just look it up.
No one sued the Trump administration, dare I say it, more than Judicial Watch. I mean, that's a fact. I mean, we're suing the Trump administration. We've complained about the lack of transparency by the agencies run by people that we all kind of like generally or personally. But when it comes to transparency, and obeying the rule of law on the Freedom of Information Act, the Trump administration in many ways has been worse than the Obama administration. And I'm sure the president's furious about it, but that's the reality. They're protecting Hillary Clinton. They're protecting the Obama gang. And right now, they're protecting Joe Biden and helping move along this impeachment effort, this seditious impeachment effort, this coup to remove the president.
Tom, on that note, because I know the president's trying to get to the bottom of this, a lot of this stuff. I hate that term. It's beyond cliched, but I know he is. Do you feel as I feel that this is really, I mean, this is the epitome of the deep state, that he has entrenched bureaucrats. Let's put skin on, anybody can say deep state, but let's put skin on the bones here and talk about what it really is. I believe, having worked in the government myself and having seen it, sadly, up close and personal, you have these bureaucrats that think their job is some kind of a sinecure, it's like a fiefdom, and their department is their department, and they're going to run it, and they really don't care. And the president, although very powerful, obviously he's the president of the United States, what I think people aren't aware of, and you better than anyone being at Judicial Watch, The president doesn't have the time to like follow up on every single FOIA you guys put in and every single department head of every single cabinet agency. He's relying on surrogates in these agencies through, the delegation of executive power to say, hey, get this out. Let's clean this mess up. But I guess what I'm asking you is, are these deep staters, are they slow walking all of this, just waiting for President Trump hopefully to lose this election to celebrate and say, look, we got him. I mean, we're just going to ignore this guy, hoping he gets he doesn't get reelected in 2020 and we're just going to wait him out?
Yeah, there's that casual sedition, as I call it, everyday actions by members of the permanent government, the alt government, as I call it. They see themselves as a government in waiting for their next friendly Democrat or leftist to come in. But the leadership of the agencies needs to take ownership on this issue. They all know about this FOIA issue. They all know about this transparency issue. And they don't want to take the strong action necessary to confront the agencies' slow rolling of it. These are political decisions by the leadership of the agencies not to follow the law and obstruct our efforts. I mean, we were in court about 3 weeks ago, Dan, and there were 6 lawyers from the Justice Department and State Department in there defending Hillary Clinton, trying to shut down our case on the emails. This is a decision at Attorney General Barr needs to take ownership here. Secretary Pompeo needs to take ownership here. Every time they talk and they make excellent presentations, but we see the results on the ground where the rubber meets the road, and I'm not seeing much in the way of results.
On that topic, if we can kind of switch gears to that. So John Huber, the United States attorney, who I don't know what he was supposed to be doing, investigating something. I mean, he seems to, exactly. The audience is saying that too. That's the problem. He was supposed to be investigating the government malfeasance and the Clinton probe and everything else. Seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth. No one knows what he was doing. But there was recently a story that, don't worry, Huber didn't find anything and Hillary Clinton didn't do anything wrong. I guess my question to you, having been all over this Clinton case for a long time now, the Gambetta situation and the immunity deals, do you think there's ever going to be any justice in this and a real, sincere, top to bottom review of what happened here in this email debacle with Hillary Clinton?
Not unless the president directly intervenes and appoints a special counsel. I mean, one of the outrages of this Justice Department is its continued defense of Hillary Clinton, its non-investigation of the various issues that not only arose during the Obama administration, but have continued to arise under the current administration. We found more evidence of criminal activity, and they're defending her. There's no doubt that they have zero interest in relooking at this case, despite the public interest in making sure there's some accountability. And if I were the president, I'd just say, look, I'm going to appoint a special counsel. You guys obviously are afraid to deal with the bureaucracy here, and we need to reassure the public there's a fair investigation here. And there's more and more evidence it was unfair and it was a rigged investigation. At the same time they were protecting Hillary, they were bending over backwards to target Trump illegally. And you can't understand the Russiagate scandal without understanding what was at stake for the Clintons and the whole gang there on the emails. And as I said, it's about freezing the Justice Department, but also, unfortunately, the Justice Department is happy to be frozen when it comes to Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I just realized I lost myself before. I didn't follow up with the audience. That freezing part is right, folks. I mean, what I think what Tom is suggesting and what I agree with him on is this effort by the Democrats with their media allies to constantly counterattack and accuse the Republicans of what they're doing. In fact, because Republicans, some up on the Hill who don't have the guts to stand up, some do, there are a lot with the cojones to do it, some don't, they stop. Instead of looking into Ukraine, which Tom and I discussed before, the Hillary email investigation, where we have known malfeasance. Again, the degree of criminality, be open to investigation. We'll see if there is or isn't. But it's stopped because they fall into this media trap of, oh my gosh, you'll be accused of being political, or now you got to defend yourself against I guess it's the best way to say it is, I boxed for a long time, and they say the best defense in boxing is a good offense, because when you're punching the other guy, you don't have to worry about your defense. And this is what the Democrats do. And the fact that we have Republicans not willing to stand fast outside of the Devin Nunes's and others, I think you're right, Tom. It freezes them in place, and it's really disappointing.